This video has been sponsored by MTG Amino, a social media app that lets you connect with people around the world to discuss Magic the Gathering. MTG Amino gives you access to blog posts, images, videos, GIFs, and chat rooms all about a wide variety of Magic the Gathering content and lets you follow members of the community that you care about, like us for instance. If you want to chat about some specific lore from a past plane, brew a new standard deck, or just hang out and talk with people who care about Magic as much as you do, MTG Amino has all of that and more. Download now for iOS and Android, and be sure to follow Windmill Slam on there when you do. Welcome, everyone, to an impromptu episode of Between Rounds, because Wizards were kind enough to send us a set of pre-release packs, but the Irish Postal Service was not kind enough to deliver them on time. So instead, we're going to have a little roundtable discussion about some of the more interesting new cards from Aether Revolt. So today I'm joined by...
Gary.
Oisin.
Alan.
Pumpkin. Adas.
I'm going to present our panelists, shall we say, with cards and get them to give their thoughts, have a nice little relaxed discussion to gently slip you into Aether Revolt like a warm bath. So first on the list is Herald of Anguish. Gary, how do you feel about Herald of Anguish?
I mean, the 5/5 flyer. I mean, straight off the bat, I love 5/5 flyers. The 7 mana cost, I think, is going to be a little bit tough, but you still got, if in saying pre-release or in sealed, you still got the Kaladesh cards there, because hopefully you can at least fabricate a little bit. You can improvise a little bit more.
And bring that 7 down to a 5 or something.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I mean, like, you know, if you even get it at a 6, a 5/5 flyer for 6, not bad. But it's got, like, removal on a stick, which is, I think, awesome. And especially in Kaladesh and in, from what I've seen in the Aether Revolt spoilers, there's a lot of creatures that have 1 and 2 toughness. So giving it creature -2/-2 for, you know, literally nothing. I mean, on turn 5 or turn 6, so what's 2 mana? I think it could be a limited all-star. Certainly.
Do you agree with that, Oisin?
I think in limited it's just a stone cold bomb straight away. The Hi Pumpkin.
Pumpkin agrees.
No, in limited it's absolutely insane. There's tons of incidental artifacts lying around from, like you say, Fabricate from Kaladesh, and a lot of the cards, the creatures are just randomly artifacts in the set. It's an artifact theme, and you've got vehicles that you won't always be crewing that you can use to improvise with. Like you say, a 6 mana 5/5 flyer, totally respectable card. We've played 6 mana 4/4 flyers before and been reasonably happy about it.
Horizon Chimera springs to mind for me.
That's it. And the discard ability, if I'm not mistaken, triggers on your end step.
Yes, so
you're
most of the time
always 2-for-1ing your opponent with your 6 mana 5/5 flyer that can also act as removal. I don't think
that's a hell of a sentence.
I don't think you ever pass that card if you see it in the pack of Aether Revolt.
Okay. Alex, any contrarian thoughts?
No, I think it's great and limited. I'm not sure. I think it's comparable to, in Kaladesh, Demon of Dank.
Demon of Dank memes.
That just came out naturally. What's its actual name?
Demon of Dark Schemes.
I think it's actually Demon of Dank memes.
Yeah. That's just what I thought it was called. Yeah, I think it's very similar to Demon of Dank. Demon of Dark Schemes. I think it's very similar to Demon of Dark Schemes. The 3 black 5/5 is 5/5 as well, and give everything -2/-2. This comic is going to be a little bit cheaper. It's 1 black, isn't it?
The activation cost,
yeah,
yes.
1 black, sack an artifact, gives something -2/-2. Especially in said, there's a lot of servos lying around. Aether Revolt has a lot of common and uncommon artifacts that are intended to go to the graveyard for triggering a revolt. For whatever reason, there's ones that cycle that when they die, you draw a card. Obviously, synergize very well. Constructed a little bit less so. Wouldn't say it would see much play. But limited, definitely big bomb as a mythic.
It's hard to imagine a constructed deck that wants both a lot of tiny artifacts and a 5/5 flying.
Yeah, exactly. Like why bother with this demon when you can just be casting Emerald Bull or Gideon and whatnot. So, but limited is definitely. I'd be excited to open that in the pack one.
Alan, as a long-term highly competitive player and with a storied history with the game, what are your thoughts on Herald of Anguish? You want to explain that? What was your first set you ever played?
First set I ever played. The first set I ever played was Shadows over Innistrad.
Yeah. So Alan is our resident newbie.
Yeah. So
what are your thoughts on the big scary demon?
I think it's really cool. I like. I think it's class. It's like as Alex says, the demon of dark schemes. It's really good. It's like
How long you been playing?
Like 4 or 5 years.
it's real good because like it enters and gives everything. Like obviously that card gives everything -2. But this like as the removal on stake is just -2. It's like kill that, and I'm gonna smack you for 5. It's like it's so sweet.
How much mana and how many artifacts do you have in this turn?
If I'm dropping this thing, like I can go, okay, what? It's 3 black and 4? 3 black and 5?
Yeah.
Black before, yeah.
3 black and 4, right? So I can have 4 servos and go 3 black.
No, it's 5 black.
Yeah, 5 black. Yeah, it's 5 black.
Okay, so I have 4 servos. Really easy to get.
Yeah.
Really easy to get.
Trivial to get, some would say.
Yeah. And then I just go, right, tap these, 3 black, bang.
But you need 6 mana.
And
If
you
you
gotta
have
save
4 servos, you're playing it on turn 3. So.
That's if I'm playing on turn 3 though.
Yeah.
Like, I could be playing this like...
Okay, we're getting away from ourselves.
Yeah.
We all agree the card is very good and limited, probably not good enough for constructed, and
Yeah.
super sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like,
Sweet card.
as a comment as well, I like that all the abilities, this discard is its value, but the improvise synergizes with
the
sacking an artifact. You're likely to have some artifacts.
You spent your artifacts
hanging
now to get your
around.
5/5
Exactly,
now.
yeah. And then you can sack them for further value. So
Right.
synergize nicely.
The next card on our list is Metallic Rebuke. Oshin, strictly better than Mana League.
I don't know, but I think that's the opposite of the definition of strictly better. I think it's
Show your work.
Well, no, I think it's a very good card. I don't think it's quite as good as Mana Leak just because it's not as universally powerful, but I think it's an effect.
Not as universally cheap.
Universally cheap, sure.
Yeah.
It's exactly as universally powerful. But it can cost 1 mana. It can cost 3 mana. It's very nice to have that effect in standard again. I think blue tempo decks have been something they've kind of been phased out of the format for a good while now, and it's nice. This might, see something like that coming back. Whether it's powerful enough to make it into modern, it's going to be very deck dependent. Limited, I don't think it's playable, unfortunately.
Alex, it's been very long since we got to counter spells in standard for 2 mana. Are you excited at the prospect of being able to counter things for 1 mana?
Yeah, I think Metallic Rebuke is a very good card. It may prove in the format not to be powerful, but I think a lot of the tools in the format are. So I think the card that synergizes mostly is with Thraben Inspector, which is since proven to be one of the best cards out of it. It's just the little 1/2 that synergizes with absolutely everything, with crewing, the artifact being relevant for artifact synergies in Kaladesh, and now with improvise as well. Actually, turn 1 making a clue. It's a card you want to play already, and then the clue is able to improvise further and being able to actually have, if you have the opening of turn 1 Thraben Inspector, turn 2 you now actually get to cast Mana Leak.
And then if you don't cast it, you can crack the clue.
Yeah, exactly. So it works really nicely with vehicles as well. I think it slots into Blue-White Flash quite easily, and it can easily fit some cards in either the sideboard or main board, and it works really well with its game plan.
Gary, how do you feel about Control getting a lot of new tools in standard?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it. I am a huge Control player in every format. Literally, I love it all so much. But yeah, I definitely agree with Alex there with it in Blue-White Flash. What I like it better than is Revolutionary Rebuff. So I like it as a replacement for Rebuff, because there's a lot of games, especially if you're playing Magic Online, that Blue-White artifact deck is just running rampant.
The Panoramicon one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's everywhere on Magic Online at the moment.
Is that a budget thing?
It's super cheap.
It's
Yeah.
very cheap on Magic
Seth
Online.
Manfield top hit a GP with it as well.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, he did pretty well. But I definitely like it as a replacement for Revolutionary Rebuff in Blue-White Flash. I do think it's going to be to see play, but I don't think, unfortunately, as proper Control, like classic Control, we still don't have the support for that as I see it. But definitely in Blue-White Flash, 100% agree with it being in there.
Flash already plays, at least the list I've been playing, I've been run at least two rebuffs. You need just some extra instant speed interaction to pair with Spell Queller, and I'd happily decide to take those 2 rebuffs out and put into Metallic Rebukes, and having copter various clues to be able to counter.
100% agree with that.
Alan, are you aware what a counter spell does?
Yeah, no, I know a couple of counter spells. Yeah.
You ever cast
Summary
one?
Dismissal's really good. That's a good one.
We weren't talking about summary dismissal though.
No, I know. No, I know. But I know what counter spells
I am literally just busting your balls.
do.
How do you feel about Metallic Rebuke? How do you feel about getting your big dank demon countered?
Oh, that'd be horrible. Oh god. Yeah, no, it'd be pretty bad considering you'd be like, I want to kill that, or like, you want to kill like the copter. Let's go. Okay, sack 2 artifacts, kill copter when they go block, and you're like, no, that's not gonna happen because I'm gonna tap my copter and cast this and stop you from doing it. It's like,
It's not stifle. What are you talking about?
So I can't do any of that.
Yeah, the demons.
It's a counter spell, so I can't do any of that.
The demon was gone some time ago.
Yeah, no, it's like,
So your opinions can be summed up as feels bad, man.
pretty much it.
Okay. Next up, we have Aether Sphere Harvester. Ashin, how do you feel about Aether Sphere Harvester?
Shock, mostly. A little horror. It's, oh my god, it's insane. It's
Would you go as far to say as it's better than Siege Mastodon?
I would say, I don't know. Siege Mastodon's always a creature. You need something with 1 power to make this a creature.
There you
So
go.
I don't know if it's strictly better than Siege Mastodon. But yeah, 3 mana is a bargain for it. It's crew 1, which I think is kind of more relevant than the mana cost a lot of the time, is literally as low as you can go. It's the lifelink ability, like you can trigger that off itself twice, so you can gain 6 life. It can gain 6 life by itself. Very easy to pick up random bits of energy in all of the formats it's going to be played in. And yeah, I think it's just an all-star. Really, really, really strong. Very scary threat.
Anything to say against the Aether Sphere Harvester, Gary?
I hate it.
You hate it.
I hate it. Well, I love it, but I hate it. I hate that it was ever created.
Does
The
this
one
thing
that's gonna
just
stare it
yeah.
down.
does this have metallic rebuke written all over it?
Yeah, man. I would love playing with it, but I know I'm going to, it's in any draft or limited format that I'm playing against, someone else is always going to open it.
Yeah.
I'm always going to play against it.
Yep.
And I'm never going to be able to get rid of it. Don't get me wrong, great card. Unbelievable card. I do like it as a design, but I will be always playing against it because I hate playing vehicle decks. So no matter what, I know Alan
Vehicle
over
decks
there
are the
is
best.
always going to have it.
Vehicle
And I-
decks are the best.
yeah, and I'm never going to have anyone for it. So, but nothing bad against it other than
What's your plan for dealing with Aether Sphere?
I don't think you can.
Don't think you can.
No,
This is just the world we live in now.
it's completely unreasonable.
It can be pushed.
It can be pushed. It can be pushed out of the sky easily enough.
Fake.
I think in limited.
It can be fragmentized.
Yeah, I think in limited it's probably the second best vehicle after Skyship.
Yep.
The mythic one.
Sky Sovereign.
Sky
Sovereign.
Sovereign. Sky Sovereign.
Console flagship.
Console Flex, yeah. I think it's probably the second best vehicle taken between Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. It's just imagine like your opponent plays a 3-mana 3/5 flyer, flying lifelink on turn 3. The crew one is
Trivial.
to get. When I first looked at it, I saw it in the Japanese spoiler. I thought it was set crew 3. I was like, yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And then I read it and actually it was crew 1. I was like,
It's weird. It's almost
absurd.
upside having crew 1 on it because it makes it immune to sorcery speed removal, and there's not a lot of instant speed removal that hits it.
yeah, like 3/5 toughness is so huge as well. Like the thing is, like Copter is obviously insane on turn 2, but being a 3/3, it is vulnerable to a lot of removal spells. This just like the burn, very difficult to hit it. It really requires either sorcery speed artifact removal or like fragmentize. There's a few instant speed ones as well, or just black card removal, and that's unlimited. In constructed, obviously there's a little bit more interaction with fatal push, counter spells, harness lightning can hit it sometimes with extra energy. But I think it's a big threat in both limited and standard. See it a lot.
Alan, you like cars, don't you?
I do.
Okay.